All right, if you're tuned into the markets today, you know there's one story that's just drowning everything else out. And yeah, it's a story all about silicon and code.
So, what's really driving the bus today? I mean, as we're all looking ahead to the US Open, it's become super clear that one thing, and one thing only, is setting the pace for everyone.
And the answer? Well, it's simple. AI. And look, today, artificial intelligence is way more than just a buzzword, right? It's the actual force that's drawing a line in the sand between the winners and the losers. No question about it.
But this isn't some, vague out there trend. Nope. The momentum we're seeing today is getting a serious jolt of energy from a huge announcement, and it's all coming from one single dominant company. Okay, so let's get right into it. The main event. The big story today, it's all about NVIDIA. They've just dropped a new piece of hardware, and believe me, the entire tech world is buzzing.
So, say hello to the Blackwell chip. Now, this is not just another upgrade. This is a big deal. It's NVIDIA's very first AI processor that's actually made right here in the US. That is a massive strategic move, It's all about securing those domestic supply chains for what is, let's be honest, the most critical tech on the planet. And yeah, it's already sending some serious shockwaves through the whole AI hardware space. And wow, the effect was instant. NVIDIA is on the move, climbing higher, and it's dragging other tech giants right along with it. It's that classic a rising tide lifts all boats scenario, right? A huge AI announcement like this just injects a ton of optimism into the whole tech sector. We're seeing Tesla pop over 2% ahead of their earnings, and even Netflix is catching the wave, up over 1.3%, just continuing its own good run.
But here's the thing, a big move from NVIDIA, it never happens in a vacuum. It always sets off a chain reaction across the entire AI world.
So let's break down what that chain reaction actually looks like. First off, you've got this insane demand for enterprise AI, which is fantastic news for a company like Palantir. Then, think about it. All that AI needs a place to live, which means massive data storage. That's why you're seeing infrastructure guys like Seagate and Western Digital get a nice little boost. And of course, whenever the king makes a move, everyone immediately looks to the competition. And that, my friends, brings us to AMD.
And just to give you a sense of what that enterprise demand really means, look at this number, 107%. That's Palantir's gain year to date. I mean, come on. This is so much more than hype. This is a clear signal of real, sustained demand for these powerful AI analytics platforms.
Which, brings us right back to the competition. AMD is absolutely a stock you've got to keep on your radar. They've got key earnings coming up next week, and you can bet that analysts are going to be glued to their screens looking for any hint of upside in their AI and data center stuff. Everyone wants to know how they plan to carve out their slice of the pie in a world that is, for now, totally dominated by NVIDIA.
Okay, so the AI world is absolutely on fire. But what about the rest of the market? Let's zoom out for a second and see what the picture looks like from right here in the UK.
Yeah, the FTSE 100 is, it's telling a much more mixed story. On the one hand, you've got this really strong industrial sentiment that's lifting up big names like Rolls-Royce and Babcock. But then, on the other hand, you have the harsh reality of earnings season hitting home. We're seeing companies like Unite Group and Global Data hitting fresh lows because of weaker results. It's just a great reminder that even when AI is grabbing all the headlines, the fundamentals, actual business performance, always matters.
But, and this is the really interesting part, despite that mixed bag here at home, that AI excitement from the US, it's definitely spilling over. I mean, UK-listed global tech funds, think Polar Capital, they're actually up today. It just goes to show you that the powerful current from the US AI sector is strong enough to be felt all the way across the pond.
All right, so with all of that swirling around, what should you actually be keeping an eye on as the US market gets ready to kick off?
Let's run through what's topping the midday watch list. Number one, obviously, is NVIDIA. Can that Blackwell chip momentum keep going? That's the big question. Number two, Meta. Kind of the quiet giant here, but their ad revenue forecasts could really set the tone for a lot of things. Number three, you guessed it, Tesla. Earnings are out tonight, and that is absolutely the main event. And finally, number four, TSMC. Their performance is always a critical signal for the health of global chip demand.
And for each of those, there are specific things to watch for, right? With Tesla, you know the market is going to tear apart every single detail about their margins and their delivery trends. For Meta, it's all about that forward-looking guidance on ad revenue. That's what really matters. And TSMC's numbers, well, they're pretty much seen as a bellwether for the entire global economy. So yeah, these are the little details that are going to drive the market's next big move. So, as we're all waiting for that opening bell in the US, it's just crystal clear that the AI story is writing every single headline. We're talking about the chips, the software, the infrastructure, the whole shebang. The real question isn't if AI is driving the market anymore. We know it is. The question now is, where is the next big move going to come from? And that kind of leads me to my final question for you. Which one of these AI stocks is on your radar?